Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, I'm excited because I have not one, two, or three, but four palettes sitting in front of me today, two of which you've already seen that I'm so excited to talk to you about. We have the brand new Oden's Eye Hay Reindeer palette, the brand new Oden's Eye Snow Day palette, plus, they decided to bring back their classic Merry Christmas palette and their Merry Christmas Eve palette. So you guys want to see what these palettes are all about, what type of palettes I create, and are they actually worth it? Well, then definitely keep watching. Alrighty guys, I want to start off by saying thank you so much to all the well wishes that you guys have been giving me over the weekend. I'm definitely feeling better. I'm a little congested. She's still draining. She still kind of has a cough and my voice goes in and out periodically, but we're here, we're doing good, and that's all I can ask for. I did rest a lot this weekend. So with that said guys, we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. So last year, Oden's Eye Cosmetics released two Christmas palettes. They released the Christmas Eve palette and the Merry Christmas palette right here, and I have to say these palettes were so unbelievably fun to play with. They were actually ranked my number one and number two Christmas palettes of last year, and they'll probably be right up there again this year, not gonna lie. And I absolutely loved these two palettes, and I'm not gonna lie, I already own both of them because they were so kind enough to send me them last year, and they actually stocked me up again this year. So instead of opening up these ones, I'm just going to show you guys my own. I'm actually going to save these for a Christmas giveaway, so you guys will see these in a future giveaway. So up first, we do have the Merry Christmas and the Christmas Eve palette right here. So I'll quickly just kind of go over the Merry Christmas palette. So here's the Merry Christmas palette. This is such a gorgeous palette. Like, I absolutely loved how this palette looked. I think it's so freaking beautiful. I feel like it definitely does hit the theme of Christmas for sure. I just feel like this was like the perfect Christmas palette. Now it does retail for $43.90, and again, I love this palette. I did like a red, green, and gold look. I'm not going to play with these ones today, this one or the Merry Christmas one, because I already did a video on these, but if you guys want to see it, I'll link it down below. Then we do have this beautiful Christmas Eve palette. Now this reminds me of like silver bells. Wow, my voice sounds so sexy. But this is the Christmas Eve palette, and this actually does again retail for $43.90. And I absolutely loved the look that I created when I played with this. This was so hard to rank between the Christmas and the Christmas Eve palette. Like, this was like a battle between the two. But this is such a gorgeous palette. I feel like it really did hit the nail in the coffin for Christmas Eve. Reminded me of Christmas Mass, and I just absolutely loved playing these palettes. And I have seen everybody for the last year over on Oden's Instagram demanding to have a restock of the Christmas Eve and the Christmas Eve palette, and they're officially back, and I'm so excited to let you guys know about that. Up next, they decided to release two new Christmas palettes. So they have the Snow Day palette and the Hay Reindeer palette right here. So we're gonna quickly go over the Snow Dream palette. So again, this does retail for $43.90. For this year, we've chosen a fresh theme and color scheme to add more enchantment to your Christmas appearance. Your Christmas experience. In the Snow Dream palette, we've combined a low saturation of green tones with their traditional Christmas reds and golds, creating a unique effect. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I love the outside packaging. I think the outside packaging on this palette is absolutely gorgeous. And when you open the palette on the inside, this color story is really, really beautiful to me. For me, it kind of reminds me of like a gingerbread house. Like, I get like a gingerbread house, I get like Snow Day, first sight of snow. Like, I get like snow vibes, gingerbread houses with this palette. Like, it just reminds me of like the beginning of Christmas, when you get that first hint of Christmas coming with the overcast weather, the snow falling, you're building a gingerbread house, you have Christmas music playing, you have some hot cocoa and cookies in your hands. Like, that is the vibe that I get from this palette. I really do appreciate the fact that it is like a cool tone. It's like a cool tone, almost pastel Christmas palette. Like, this to me, I think is absolutely gorgeous. And I think they really did hit the theme of Christmas with this palette. I love just like the pastel versions of it. I think this is really beautiful. Now, there's one thing I do want to point out though. This shade called Frankincense, oh my god, is it the most gorgeous shade? I'm like, seriously, it is the most gorgeous, blinding, like rainbow-esque shade. Like a silver with like rainbow reflex in this. But this is unbelievably glittery. Like, so glittery that I literally had to go wash my arm twice because the glitter just got all over. As you guys can see right here, she likes to linger. but it's a very gorgeous shade. Then we have the Hay Reindeer palette right here. Now, I do love any sort of Christmas palettes that have animals on it. I think they're the freaking cutest, so I absolutely love the outside of this package, and it says, the Hay Reindeer palette features light blue shades, low saturations of pinks and hues, and the touches of orange, bringing a fresh Christmas atmosphere. It also does retail for $43.90. So I'm gonna tell you guys, when I first saw this palette, I think the outside packaging is really cute. But when you open the color store on the inside, this one right here, I am struggling with just a bit in terms of thinking that it looks like a Christmas palette. To me, it just looks like a spring palette. I really don't get the Christmas vibes with this palette whatsoever. Besides like the outside packaging and like the palette layout, I don't really see Christmas with this one. Like I don't. I'm struggling to see it and I really want to, but I just look at it going, this is a really gorgeous spring palette. If you didn't have the outside packaging, I would 100% thought this was a spring palette. So we're definitely gonna have to play with this one, kind of see if I can create somewhat of like a Christmas-esque look. I really like last year, I did like greens, golds, and reds with like silvers, blues, and golds. This year I want to do like minty greens. I want to do like snow day vibes, lavender snow day, like the first fall of snow and whatnot, like leading up to Christmas is the vibes I want to do today. So we're obviously going to do two different eye looks. I'm going to do snow day and I'm going to do Hay Reindeer on this eye, but I will say it is a gorgeous palette. It's just not what I expected in terms of a Christmas palette. Now, if you guys wanted to, you guys can use code AllieD, which will save you guys 10% off when purchasing anything from this collection or anything from Oden's Eye Cosmetics website. I'll have all the details about the palettes listed below when it launches, everything down below for you guys. Also, I cannot forget to say they do include these really cute scarves. I love that they do these. I think these are so adorable. Like, just look at how cute that is. I love that Oden's Eyes does that. Like, it is just the most cutest thing that Oden's Eyes do that. Like, it is just so freaking cute. I love it. So with that said, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to zoom you guys in. We're going to play the two different palettes. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on the brand new Christmas collection from Oden's Eye Cosmetics. Okay, something of like Snow Day, and this is definitely like a minty green palette. So I'm actually going to go into this shade right here called Snowflake, and we're going to put that in our like transition crease shade. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, if at some point I stop filming, it's because this nail is about to pop off. Speaking of that, I guess you guys are so used to just the drama and the scandals that like influencers have put themselves in. And so on Friday's video, I talked about how I was going to link where I got my nails down from below, and I've actually gotten a few comments. I did delete them as I just don't care to have negativity, but people thought that I had like an undisclosed sponsorship from Kiss. First off, if I had a sponsorship from Kiss, everybody would know it because I'd be screaming up and down like, oh my god, Kiss hit me, like Kiss did a sponsorship. I'd be so excited. But secondly, it's just kind of sad that like I feel like I can't even express something that I love without people just assuming I'm doing an undisclosed sponsorship because of all the other influencers out there that have ruined it for like the smaller ones. I don't get really any sponsorships from brands because I'm too small of a creator. So I want to like kind of set the record straight on that. It's very rare for me to have a sponsorship because I don't have an agency and I don't have a lot of I don't have a big following. So for a lot of brands out there, they don't really see me as worthy of doing sponsorships with. So that's one thing I want to point out too. Like, I'm just really excited about the Kiss nails. I always get asked what nails I'm wearing and oh, I love your nails. And so I wanted to just be nice and like link it just like I always get asked about like my sweaters, like where I get my sweaters from, and I'm always like either Target or Disney. And it's just something that you guys ask, and I want to be nice and just tell you guys like, hey, because I see a lot of the same comments. I'm like, this is where I got it from in case you guys want to check it out. And I guess people thought I had an undisclosed sponsorship. And if anyone's been on my channel, you guys know that I would always like tell you guys where I get my stuff. I always tell you guys if a video is sponsored or not. So this is definitely a beautiful shade. This is definitely the icy minty side, but I noticed that this is one of those shades you want, if you want to have like a lot of pigment, you really should lay down a color base with this. I just want to lay this right here just so it's like kind of like in the crease shade. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but Paige announced that she finally had her baby girl, Luna, and I'm so excited. So we've known, and I couldn't say anything, but we've known, and I just wanted to be like, oh my god, she's here. Just like I told Paige, because we've known her name since the summer. And I feel like there was going to be times where I accidentally would have said it by accident. And I'm so glad that like I really held it. I think I said it one time. I'm going to go in the shade called Ornament. I think I said it like one time on a video and I edited it out. But I was like, ooh, Paige, I'm so glad, because like I know they kept that as a secret for quite some time. But I am just beyond happy for both of them. She is so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. And I'm not sure if anyone has Instagram, but Paige did post a picture over there announcing that she was born on November 2nd. And I cannot wait to meet her. She is so freaking beautiful. I will say, I'm just running whatever's left over like forward. I will say, I really do appreciate the fact that Oden's Eye is waiting until at least November to release these, because I remember last year I did this Christmas video in the middle of my Vlogoween series, so I had on like a Santa hat with my Halloween background, and I'm just really glad that they kind of like and we are releasing it around this time frame, because it's just allowing people to now use the Christmas palette in Christmas instead of like having it roll out with Halloween. I'm just really glad that they did that. Okay, so like I said, very, very light in color. So then we're gonna go into the shade called Mary, this beautiful like icy mint green. I love a good mint green. There's something about it that I think is so freaking beautiful. So I'm going to take this on my finger, and we're going to just lightly start to place this right here. I could wear like a mint green eye look like every day and be so freaking happy. I'm going to go in the shade called Frankincense, that beautiful like really like nice like silver with like rainbow reflex in it. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna put that down right next to that. Like, wow, that is absolutely gorgeous. Like, do you not see that glitter reflect? Oh my god, it's so pretty. Shade is definitely a bit more flakier because it feels like it's more like a pressed glitter than a shimmer. So this is one of those shades I probably would recommend putting down with a little bit of glitter glue to help make that base just a little bit more softer, a little bit more easier to work with. But I will say it's absolutely beautiful. Such like a gorgeous like icy white silver with like the beautiful rainbow reflect. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so here is this eye so far. It's super basic and it doesn't scream snow day, but it's kind of like what we're working with. I still think it's really pretty. So let me just quickly do my eye base on this eye, and then we're going to come back and do the Hay Reindeer. Okay, so for this eye, we're going to go into the shade called Cider right here, and we're going to go into our like little crease shade. And just like I said, want to thank everybody for the love wishes, like wishing me that I got better. I just, and I feel like this happens every year after my Vlogoween series. I always end up coming down with a cold and whatnot, and I freaking hate it. And I knew that there's chances this was going to happen because my husband got sick first near Halloween, and I was like, ah, oh, son of a bitch. I was like, please don't get me sick. And then, of course, he ended up getting me sick, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I freaking hate that. I hate whenever I get sick, and I'm just like, and like some of you guys are like, go and rest. I'm like, I cannot rest. At some point in my life I will rest, but that's not that point today. But at some point I will. But you guys are so sweet, like demanding that I rest. I'm gonna go into the shade called Holly, and I might actually mix it with this shade called Ivy. I kind of just like might mix the two together. So I try to get some rest. I did play the new season of Fortnite that came out, and I definitely read a little bit, which I was really excited about. Really love that I'm getting back into reading, because I really do miss reading. I used to read like all the time, and I just haven't had the time, and now I do again, and I really, really, really do miss it. I also went to Sephora, and I got a couple more things from Sephora because I actually had bought this like viral like Dior lipstick that I thought was going to be a viral item, because I've been seeing it all over like TikTok, and I'm sure you guys might know what I'm talking about. It's like Dior, like this lipstick where like you do like that, and it's like glitter all, I didn't mean to touch my lips, that glitter all over, and every like big influencers like getting it, and they're all like, oh my goodness, what is this magical thing? And I'm like, see, Taylor did that years ago. But regardless, they're all acting like this is his holy grail item. So I went to Sephora, and I was like, okay, well, it's 20% off. Let me pick up this item. So I picked up this item. It was like the 760 like Forever Dior or something. I was picking a different red shade because I didn't like the red shade that they picked. They picked like a really bright red shade. I like a more deeper red shade. I got it home, and then I didn't do anything with it because I ended up getting sick, whatever. So what ended up happening was a couple of days ago, I opened up the package, and I realized that I had bought the wrong item. So I thought I was buying a liquid lip, and instead I was buying like this matte lipstick, which I was like, how did this happen? I guess whoever had stocked the area didn't do it right, or honestly, I'm not even gonna blame the workers. I'm gonna blame the customers that are there. So I bought the wrong item essentially, and I was like kind of mad at myself, but I actually am very proud because I went and returned it. Now, if anyone's been on my channel for a while, you guys know that I suck at returns. I hate them. I don't ever do them, and I just bite the bullet because I get really bad social anxiety having to walk in there and just talk to humans and be like, this is why. Like, I get so weird. I get so weird. But I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm getting much better about it. So I decided to go in, and I'm going to go into the shade right here that's called Belle, right next to that, this right shade. So I decided to go in, and I, let the person know that I was making a return. There was nothing wrong with the item. It's just I got the wrong item. That was like my fault, whatever. So I went over to the section, and I saw that they had the correct item. I checked the box, and it was the correct item, but it was just the matte version because they don't have the shimmery version yet from Dior. It's like not in stores. So I just like, okay, I'm just not going to get this. But then I was like, well, since I just returned that item, I had them do store credit because I figured might as well just do store credit. I found like these really cute mini stuff that I wanted to check out. So I only spent like $40 because of my return, and I got like a few items, which I'm really excited to show you guys that, which I'd actually, by this point, because I'm having this video come out tomorrow, you guys would have already seen what it is because I'm doing my Sephora haul after this, and you guys have already seen it, so Inception. But I was like really, really proud of myself, and I really liked how I was able to do that. Plus I was able to go in and exchange for my free perfume, which I thought was actually really cool that you're able to do that. I think those are so worth it. Definitely a lot of fun. I really do like the Sephora sale, and I know that they're doing another one technically in like a month or so for cast members. They're doing like cast appreciation weekend, so I might get a couple things during that as well, just because I really like that they do that. And it's so funny because whenever they do the cast appreciation weekend, MAC usually stands outside. I'm gonna go into the shade called Wreath right here. MAC usually stands outside, and we're doing 30% off for cast members, and ours is all the time, not just during a particular weekend. Like, they throw shade at Sephora, and I actually think it's quite hilarious that they do that because I'm like, damn, like, I swear the fact that they throw shade just makes me freaking laugh. They do that towards Sephora. It's pretty, but it's like a little lackluster, just a tad bit. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of NYX glitter glue. I know we already laid stuff down, but I'm going to add just a little bit of glitter glue on top, and we're just going to kind of go back over those shimmers one more time, just because I feel like they need to be a little bit more pigmented, and I feel like they're not as like pigmented as my previous eye. I feel like since these are like pastel shades, they're kind of like looking like kind of patchy, and they don't really look like they're blending really nicely. So I'm actually going to take this shade right here called Presence, this like icy blue down here, and we're actually going to place that right next to that one shade. We're going to cover it up because I just feel like it's a pastel shade, and it's just not really wanting to work beautifully with that shimmer shade. And it is what it is. Like, I should have known better, because I should have just placed down a color base underneath that and like really locked that color in. And that's kind of my fault for like not doing that, but I could definitely try to save it by just putting a shimmer right on top and just letting that be the base underneath. All right, so I'm going to focus on blending this out. We're going to go throw on some lashes. I'm going to come back to do the under eye and let you guys know what I think of these two palettes. Okay, so to finish off these eye looks, what to do? I think I'm going to take the shade right here. I don't know. They put like designs right here, so it's kind of hard to see the shade name. I think I'm going to take this and line this like white right along my waterline. Like light around, oh my God, right along here. Clearly I cannot talk at this moment. And then I'm going to just kind of blend that out. I'm going to blend that out with the shade called Feast right here. To make it kind of stand out more, we're going to take the shade called Sweater, like this beautiful gold shade. I'm actually going to line my entire lower waterline with that as well. Just going to slightly just that right here. Oh my gosh, look at how gorgeous that is. I'm going to take the shade called Reindeer right here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put that right underneath our waterline. And I think I'm going to actually, because it's a little bit too light, I think I'm going to mix it with the shade called Greetings as well. We're going to mix those two together. Then for this eye, we're going to go into the shade called Candy Canes right here, and we're going to go right along our waterline with that. Same thing we did on this eye, but on this eye. Oh my gosh, do you guys see that? That is gorgeous. So for both eyes, I'm just going to use a white liner and some mascara. So let me just quickly do that. Okay, so to finish off the eye looks, I'm going to go into the shade called Hugs right here. We're going to do the inner corner and brow bone on this eye. I have to say, this is a really beautiful palette. Like, I really do like this palette. I think it's really, really pretty. I will say some of the shimmers, though, they do flake. like that one's flaking. So just a heads up, some of these are, oh my gosh, flaking. And then for this eye, I think I'm gonna go into the shade called Christmas Ham. It's like this white pink shade. Very, very, very beautiful. We're gonna go in the inner corner and brow bone. Oh my gosh, this one's flaking too. What the heck? Oh, okay. This one is flaking a lot like a snowflake. Okay, so for lips, I thought about doing a red lip, but honestly, I feel like my favorite lip combo will probably be the best one for it. So I'm just going to go into the Glamlight Hershey Kisses Cookies and Cream Lip Liner. I'm going to go into the Ofra, and I'm going to go into my Ofra collab with me, and it's the liquid lip in the shade called Kaya. And then I'm going to go into the Koa Lip Gloss, and this is the final look. Guys, so this is the final look. I may have slightly overlined my lips just a tad. I went a little crazy. I was just not thinking, and I heavily overlined my lips, so I had to compensate. So my lips are looking a little bit more bigger. It's because I overlined just a tad too much. I apologize. So this is the final look. So let's go ahead and dive into this collection. So we have the two new Oden's Eye Christmas palettes. We have the Hay Reindeer and we have the Snow Day palette. These both retail for $43.90. And I have to say, I absolutely do love the outside packaging in these palettes. I think they're so beautiful. I feel like they really do touch on Christmas from like the back to the front. I think they're super beautiful. Plus, I do have a soft spot for any palette that does have like little animals on it for Christmas. I think it's so freaking beautiful. So up first, we do have the Snow Day palette. Like I said, I think this is a gorgeous pastel Christmas palette. I think they really kind of hit the nail. I think they really did a beautiful job with this palette. I think it's just like one of those like beautiful like start of the Christmas season, first fall of snow, get your hot chocolate, Christmas cookies, Christmas music, beautiful style palette. And I really do love this. Now, I feel like the look that I created isn't really Christmassy. I think it's like a really pretty like minty eye look, but I don't really get the Christmas vibes from it, and that's kind of more of my fault than it is the palette, because the palette does offer like Christmas shades between like the green, the gold, and the red and the white. They do offer some Christmas shades in here. I just kind of went more minty and kind of took that away. Could this be like an icy feel? Sure. But I definitely don't really fully get Christmas vibes with the eye look, and that's more of my fault than anything else. But I do think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I definitely want to play with this again to create more of like maybe like a pastel Christmas look than what I played with. I just really, really wanted to play with that shade right here called Frankincense. Oh my god, guys, it gets everywhere. Like literally under my base, there's glitter fallout everywhere. There's so much glitter with this. There's a lot of flaking with these shades. I noticed a lot of the shades that look like this tend to have a lot of flaking. I think they're more like I don't want to say they're pressed glitters, but the way they're just formulated, they just have more flaking to it than like their normal shimmers. So I don't really know what's going on with that, but like this right here is like their normal shimmer. This is more like their metallic shimmers, and I just feel like those ones definitely are flaking just a tad bit more, but they stand out more. They're really, really gorgeous, and I really do love that shade. Just be forewarned, it's gonna get everywhere. But I really do love this palette. I definitely gonna be playing with this again and again. Then we do have the Hay Reindeer palette. This is such a gorgeous palette from the outside. I love the way it looks from the outside. It just gets me into the feeling of Christmas, gets me so excited. But then when you open the color story on the inside, while it's a really pretty cover story, I just don't see Christmas with this at all. Even like the look that I created, it's just like a beautiful, soft spring vibe. I don't really get Christmas with it, and I really wanted to, and maybe I just am not seeing it. Maybe I'm not being creative enough, or maybe I'm not stepping out of my box or comfort zone enough to see the Christmas aspect to this, but I don't. I'm struggling to see it. All I see is spring. All I see is spring. So while I do think this is a beautiful palette on its own, I don't really correlate it too much with Christmas besides the outside packaging and even the eye look. So this is one of those palettes I'm definitely going to have to keep playing with to see if I can see the Christmas vibes down the line. But until then, I really don't see it. Of course, we do have the brand, and of course we do have back by Pop Man, the two Christmas palettes. We have the Christmas Eve and the Merry Christmas palette. These are by far the best Christmas palettes. They are beautiful. They are definitely well worth it. So I think overall these are really cute palettes. I really have enjoyed playing with them. I think if you're gonna get one out of the two new ones, I definitely recommend the Snow Day over the Hay Reindeer, just because the Snow Day, like I said, just really does scream more pastel Christmas vibes to me than the Hay Reindeer. The Hay Reindeer is just too much of a pastel palette for me. I will say the palettes on their own, they are really beautiful. They have great formula, and it just really does get me excited for the Christmas season. So while they're not my favorite palettes for Christmas, they are definitely fun to play with, and I think overall this one's my favorite out of the two. So I will have all the information about these palettes listed down below, where you guys can get your hands on them when they launch, all the details and my code and everything, and also what I'm wearing on my face. But that is it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about these palettes down below. Do you guys like them? Do you guys not? Let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful Patreon members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.